What is poppin', everybody? Welcome. We are throwing you a little swerve tonight. We're not doing Culture Popped. We're giving Culture Popped a week off because I have a crazy week ahead of me. But we do have top 5 comics, and this is something that I considered time sensitive, so I wanted to go ahead and make sure we knocked it out instead of waiting like halfway through April and being like, oh shit. Or I should say halfway through May. They'd be like, oh shit, we should talk about April comics. So I've got my main man, Drew, in the house. What's up, brother?
Doing fantastic. Great to be here. It's a great day here in Indy. And yeah, love talking comics. It gives me a nice little break from writing them.
It was, yeah, there you go. Dude, that's the truth. The amount of comics I've read from Drew in the past, like a month or so, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's all I'm going to say. It's a lot. I can't say anything else because Drew will like kill me, but it's a lot.
No, I won't. No, my publishers will. I won't.
Yeah. Okay, fine. His publishers will. Drew's like, no, it's okay. Just talk about it, but don't talk about it. But speaking, but seriously, no. But speaking of comics, something that we can talk about is this guy.
Hey, there he is right there. Yeah, I can talk about this because I'm the publisher of this comic, and I wrote this comic and the co-creator of this comic. Yeah, so this is from the amazing Gabriel Mangum. It is an homage cover to the Spawn crossover month. Back in the day, back in I think 1994, they did it. It was when Silvestri and Todd McFarlane did their they swapped titles. This is an homage to those covers, and Gabriel knocked it out of the park. This black and white is amazing, but if you remember, there was a crossover, so there were 2 covers. So there just may be 2 other variants for this cover. You will have to wait to see what happens at Dallas Fan Expo this point next month. Cannot wait. You do not want to miss out on this variant.
We were literally just talking about Dallas Fan Expo before coming on. Well, we were texting about it because we've got some fun plans for Dallas. You've got some awesome plans for Dallas, and
some awesome plans, yeah,
dude. I can't wait. After how much fun we had last year, I've just been looking forward to this year, and I'm just
me too. It's like it's the countdown for another year. It's like Christmas, just waiting for it to come.
Yeah, and we've got our own little like party house. I don't want to say party house, but we got our own little party house that we're gonna be at, and it's gonna be a hell of a lot of fun. So
absolutely.
I am stoked. No, this looks good. You got so many good covers with this, man, and I like this. It's got such a good 90s like action feel. So I love it. And
yeah, and that you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, yeah, if we'd like to believe that if you enjoyed Image Comics from the 1990s, you will enjoy Unholy Nightmare.
Hell yeah. It's got that. It's the same, pretty much the same vein. So, I mean, it's its own thing, but a nice, like, kind of vibe and feel that Image in the 90s had. So,
yeah,
loving it.
Yeah, because I was a kid of the 90s and I was reading all those almost every single week. And we need those back. We need them back right now more than ever.
Hell yeah. Well, for tonight, we're going to be talking about some good comics. So we're here for top 5 comics. We used to incorporate this as a part of Culture Popped. And, as we said last month, there were plenty of people that would come into Culture Popped and be like, what the hell? Like, I thought you were going to talk about comics. I'm just here for the comics. So this became its own show. We're in our 2nd month of having it as our own show. And we've got a lot of good stuff to cover. We're also going to, prove to you that sometimes we just don't know how to count. And that's perfectly fine. But before we get to the comics tonight, let's see who all's in the chat. We've got LK, evening gents. What's up, LK? How are you? We also have Darth Messiah. You. We have Howdy Podnas. What's up, brother? Cajun Corey. Hello. So yes, this is starting an hour earlier than usual since it's just Drew and I, because I'm Central time and he's East Coast, and we're not having any West Coasters. We were able to start a little earlier, but then I was still 10 minutes late because me and computers, which Darth Messiah was spot on. I'll take Josh is having technical difficulties for 100, Alex, and without even seeing that, I had posted, hold on guys, I'm having audio issues. if there's certain things you can count on, and this seems to be one of them. But we also have Gooch in the house. Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, Gooch? Nice to see you here, brother. But yeah, let's get into the reason we're here, the top 5 comics of April 2024. Now, as a reminder, since we've made this its own show, we've kind of divvied up our responsibilities. So I will be bringing you the top 5 debuts that came out in April, and Drew will be providing the overall top comics of April. And part of the reason we want to do this is we want to really just try to, one, share the stuff that we love, but two, make sure people are aware of some good comics that are out there, because there's too many times that we have books that are great and no one's reading them as they're coming out as monthlies, and they become trades, but by that point they're canceled and people discover it a year or 2 years after the fact, and we're like, oh, it's a shame I never read this. So our goal here is to get you to try new stuff, to step away from maybe what you're used to picking up from the big two. Not that we're anti DC or Marvel, just it's not great right now. But no. dip your toes in some stuff that's worth reading, instead of having FOMO of thinking you're going to miss something good from the big two and then just reading shit the entire time. So to kick things off, we actually have a top 7 from Drew, which is why I was like, you might see that we don't know how to count. But no, I'd asked him, I was like, hey, some of your top 5. And he was like, man, this is tough. Like, I'm down to 7, but this is tough. And I finally was like, dude, just go 7 then. Like, I'm not going to complain about talking about good books. Like, if that means we have 7 instead of 5, hey, we have 7 instead of 5. With that said, sir, in your overall top 7 of April, your number 7 spot goes to Cobra Commander number 4 of 5. So this is written by Joshua Williamson with art by Andrea Milana and colors by Annalisa Leone. And Cobra Commander has found a new ally, willing or not, that may just make him unstoppable. Unless, of course, someone is one step ahead of him. Drew, why is this your number 7 book for the month?
So you'll find out that Josh Williamson, he may or may not be on this list a couple of times. So I really truly believe in the indies is where Josh Williamson is shining right now, specifically in the Skybound universe. And Cobra Commander, what's great about these books I'm going to be talking about by Josh is that tonally, they are so different. Granted, they have a lot of action, but tonally, they're so wild and crazy. Like Cobra Commander, honestly, if you had told me that Quentin Tarantino was going to do this as a film, I would have bought it. Absolutely. Hook, line, and sinker. Because it really has a crazy, over-the-top violence vibe to it, and it's like, what the hell just happened? I did not see this happening at all. Crazy rednecks, chopping up people in the Florida jungles, and Cobra Commander, just showing how much of a badass he is, just taking a beating, 6 ways from Sunday, and he still comes out of it. It's great stuff. If you want a series where you're not going to know what's going to happen next, that's Cobra Commander, and Josh Williamson's doing a great job with it, and the art is terrific too.
Yeah, the art's terrific. It's a fun book, and I will agree that it is over the top, but not in a completely ridiculous way. It's over the top in a fun way that kind of makes sense in this world, in this universe. But yeah, it definitely keeps you on your toes, and I think that little like over the top element is what keeps you on your toes, because you don't know what to expect. So I've been loving this. I think it's a great read. I'm kind of sad and bummed that it's only 5 issues. Same with another book that we may or may not talk about from the G.I. Joe Skybound universe later within the stream. But yeah, I mean, for me, this has been so much fun, and I've never been like the biggest G.I. Joe fan. So the fact that I'm loving all of these titles as much as I am, between Real American Hero, this, and another book that we might or might not discuss later in the stream. Yeah, this is great. And I'll save my Josh Williamson conversations for later, because I have some thoughts. But before we move on, LK's hopping in with amen. We need fun books back. Absolutely. That's kind of why we're here, to give you the fun. Also, were there a lot of good books in April? I don't know, Drew, were there a lot of good books in April?
Well, I do the best of the week with Wes every week on Saturday, and they were around roughly like anywhere between like 3, no more than probably 7 books. We recommend for the week. So kind of, sort of. I mean, the number our recommends are down compared to last year and the year before that, which is a shame. But hey, it happens. There's some. I wouldn't say a lot. There's some.
I do feel like there were more for April than there have been the past like 2 or 3 months, though. Maybe.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we'll see what happens like 2 months from now, because some of these better books won't be around.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. We have Darth Messiah here. Question: I'm a trade waiter. Am I part of the problem? I thought trade sales also count and are important. They do count, and they are important, and they should be more important than they are. Unfortunately, a lot of your publishers, especially the big two, will base so much of their decision on the monthly floppy sales. And sometimes by the time the trade is coming out, a publisher's already decided that they're canceling the book. So, it's a bummer. They should take the full picture into account, but they don't.
No.
He also comes in with, I'm a Transformers fan, but I'm not a G.I. Joe fan. Find it hard to get interested in G.I. Joe, especially as a non-American. That's fair. Darth, have you been reading this iteration and this run? I'd be curious to know that. Drew, what are your thoughts on the non-Americans coming into G.I. Joe?
Honestly, I wonder how many other non-Americans feel that way. That's all I gotta say, because I know it was a popular brand worldwide, but I know the comic book did well, relatively well speaking. By being a toy comic originally. I don't know. Maybe it's a minority that believes that. I really don't know. I couldn't attest to that. I mean, I do, because we do know for a fact. I mean, little segues that Captain America did well overseas. People love Captain America overseas, but yeah. So I don't really know.
Gotcha. Yeah, he came back in with, I haven't read or watched any G.I. Joe because of the lack of interest. I mean, that's fair. I will say I kind of shared that with you. I wasn't the biggest G.I. Joe person. My brothers were big G.I. Joe fans, and I think I was kind of like, I got to find my own thing. But I've had a shit ton of fun with this. So, even if you trade weight.
Yeah.
I would say
I was more of a. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was a Transformers guy growing up, so I've always been a Transformers guy.
Yep. But Darth, I definitely say when these come out in trade, check them out, because they're good fun. Like, even outside of just the fact that it's G.I. Joe, they're good fun reads. So well worth it. We've got a few people in the house real quick. We have Cannoli Sasquatch. Hello, Josh, you sexy little lollipop. LOL. Cannoli, we've been converting into a little comic book whore. I decided to weaponize my autism one night because he made the mistake of being like, hey, what are some good Batman books? And I had like this chain on Twitter of like, okay, read these. And it's probably like $500 to $1,000 worth of comics of just Batman books.
Oof,
but I mean, but look, when you break it down, I mean, it's definitely 1,000, because I've got the whole Nightfall saga in there, and that's 3 omnibus. You got the No Man's Land, that's 3 omnibus. But yeah, no, I gave him a good gamut of different things, like Batman early years, Batman during this time. Here's some big events. But yeah, he's so many comics, so much catching up to do. But yeah, he's going through the good stuff right now, so I'm a little jelly.
Good.
But glad he's getting into comics. We also have Ivan Sanchez that joined us. Hey guys, what's up, Ivan? We've got Andrew Gonzalez. Yo. I kind of feel like, I was about to say, I need to do like the Razor Ramon, like, yo.
Hey yo.
Hey yo. I gotta plus him. And then we have LK coming back with, but it was trade sales that has given us 4, or is it 5 now, Miss Marvel books. Yeah.
What's funny? It's like, if you're a store, you can order a bunch of trades on discount from Diamond, and more often than not, you'll get like boxes upon boxes of Miss Marvel trade paperbacks, because they're just sitting in the warehouse unsold.
Oh yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah. I'm not even going to go to how many. This is more so the floppies, but my LCS has so many floppies in their back room. I sent you a picture of their back room, which I got to
Oh, yes, you
explore
did.
a month or so
Yeah,
ago, and I was like,
I'm jealous. I wish I could have done that. But wish I could, because like I see that, I'm like, oh, this is fun. It's just
the best is I go back there and I'm getting excited, and Dave, my comic shop owner, is like, "Now you've been to my house, you know this isn't the good stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but still, it's like I haven't explored this."
yeah.
I was there for like 6 hours, and I barely made a dent in that back room. So good times. Final comment before we move on, but LK says, I was a GI Joe kid growing up. I had nearly every first series figure and vehicle. I still have my straight arm figures.
Wow.
There you go.
I had all the Transformers growing up. I know that, and my mom would tell me like I was always putting transforming them as quickly as possible. Like I think she also told me that I would take them apart. Honestly, like I would actually take them apart and put them back together. Just I don't know what that says, but yeah.
It says I'm special. We're going to Drew, your favorite person has arrived. Your biggest fan, Jay Bowman, is my spirit animal.
Hey, it's Nosferatu. How's it going? We're here.
We're here. We're gonna move on to number 6 out of Drew's top 7 for the month. April. Yeah, eject Nos. What's up, Flaccid? Good to see you here. I hope your final went well, you nerd. But for coming in for number 6, the number 6 book for Drew for the month of April is Feral number 2. Written by Tony Fleeks, art by Trish Forstner, and colors by Tony Rodriguez. This is more animal horror from the creators of Stray Dogs. The indoor cats, still searching for their home in their rabies-infected woods, find others just like them on the run. But can these new cats be trusted? Are they good kitties or are they bad kitties? Are they the bad kind? I'll learn to read one of these days. Don't get bit. Don't get scratched. Don't become feral. Drew, why is this number 6? Just lay it out there.
This was a very good read, but unfortunately, I wanted to put it higher, but a lot of the other ones I have above it were just had a little bit more to it, just had a lot more fun. Granted, like all of these I had so much fun with, especially Feral number 2, but a lot of the other ones above this, they had a little something more to them. But still, I had a blast reading this. One, because they're doing a great job to get a guy like me who hates cats into being emotionally invested into a story about cats trying to survive this new strain of rabies that's caused an outbreak. And the story says this issue 2, these house cats have escaped this animal control van, and they're out in the wild, and they're trying to make it back to their home, and all the while trying to avoid these feral cats that have been infected and are slowly getting, and it's progressing even faster. But you see, it's a very kinetic issue. They're jumping from tree to tree, trying to avoid the cats, trying to cross lakes. Meanwhile, they meet a good feral cat who's trying to get them, break them of their house cat ways, which is pretty funny. But unfortunately, it looks like one of the cats may not make it out of this one piece. I'm not gonna say who, but you gotta read to find out. It's a very, very, very fun, action-packed, scary, fun read. You do have to check this out.
Yeah, I think it's a hell of a lot of fun. I'm like you, I'm not the biggest cat person. But there are still moments where I'm reading this book and I have that total gay reaction being like, oh no. So, look, anytime you can make me verbalize an oh no, because I don't want something bad to happen to an animal, look, I'll give you credit. But I'm having a lot of fun with this. And we keep saying that you've got the cats that they're trying to stay away from. There's other feral infected animals out there as well. Because we saw the fox. Was it the fox in the first one?
Yep.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, or a raccoon. It's a fox or a raccoon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was the raccoon attacking the cats, but it was the fox that I think was like caused the van to wreck. But yeah, just one, Tony Fleeks just knows how to deliver a story, and then Trish comes in with this art, and it's got that Disney feel, but it's
love it.
Yeah, it's cartoony, but it just works because you get so much of the emotions that the animals are trying to convey. It's just blatantly clear on screen or on the page. So I love this book. And you talked about how some of the other books beat this out, and I'm just wondering if sorry, I was reading a comment, but I was just wondering if maybe other books beat this out because they've had more issues to build up some of the suspense, and that this will definitely start building and building and building and get there. So we could definitely see it.
And I do talk to Trish. I talk to Trish frequently, and she said, just wait. It's only going to ramp up. Things are only going to get crazier with like the issues.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Drew?
Oh, am I here?
Hello? Oh, no, there you are. There you are.
Oh,
it went silent. Okay. I'm over here paranoid because I don't know if it's you or if it's me. So I'm getting a little sad.
Did you hear what I said?
I didn't catch that last bit.
Oh, just that I talk to Trish frequently, and she said that no one is safe in this book. No cats are safe.
Oh,
so
man. See,
don't get too attached.
I don't like that. Come on, Trish. We don't like that around here. Think of the children. Let's check out some.
Think of the children.
Exactly. The Simpsons.
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Mrs. Lovejoy. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's check out some of these comments. We've got LK here. I hope there's another Tony Fleeks book on this list. I mean, maybe there might be on one of our lists, both of our lists, potentially, possibly. We'll see. Darth Messiah, I was fine with stray dogs because I'm a cat owner, but now I'm nervous. Well, based on what Trish just said, you should be nervous, But if you need a shoulder to cry on, just reach out. We'll do a virtual cry session. Get it out. I won't tell anyone. I won't record it or post it on the internet. We'll let you keep your street cred and your manhood. But yeah, we'll definitely pick up the trades. Look, if you're not picking up the issues, for sure pick up the trades. So the Darth Messiah. Screw you, Drew. Cats are awesome. And then I come in and say, I also dislike cats. He goes, screw you as well, Josh. Cats are amazing. Oh man, this is what Maximus feel like when we're like, cats suck, and he's like, guys, Gideon. We're like, okay, fine, Gideon's cool, but like, cats suck.
Yeah.
I do want to shout out Comic Book Odyssey. I can't stay for long because supper's coming. Hey, I don't turn down supper. But glad to see you're doing a comics related stream. Yay, comics! Indeed. Comic Book Odyssey. We'll be doing this once a month. The plan wasn't for this to replace Culture Pop tonight. Just how things unfolded because of my week this week. Let's see if they're doing it again here. I love it. And this one, or no, the issue 1 was Nightmare on Elm Street, right?
Yeah, Kyle got that variant. It was a Kyle. It's like, I forget what's special about it. But yeah, Kyle got it. It was a very expensive one. I know that, and so yeah, they do them very well. My favorite one, personally, of both these series, Feral and Stray Dogs, it was the Demons homage. Because I love the movie. I love the movie Demons, and nice. They did an homage cover to that, and it's pretty cute.
Capital Video got the glow in the dark cover for Feral number 2.
Yeah, I think that might have been the Nightmare on Elm Street one. I think.
Nice with the claws, possibly.
Yeah.
Nice. We've got Salty Traveling Sea in the house. What the fuck is this? 101 Dalmatians. Man, it's like 101 Dalmatians if you want to give kids some like trauma, I guess.
So the Cruella DeVille movie. Got it.
Pretty much. But with cats. So
yeah.
But yeah, great book. Definitely recommend this. It's one of my favorite reads right now. Again, I'm an animal person, but I think even if you're not an animal person, this is a lot of fun. And it's a fun vehicle to tell the story in. So we're going to move into our top 5, and we're going to get to my first pick of the night because I can count to 5, unlike some people from some parts of this country.
Hey, I'm in Indiana. We can count to 4. All right. 5 we're getting there.
Honestly, I can't. I live in Texas. I cannot say anything about the quality of our education around here because, Texas education.
It's not Mississippi, but
I mean, that's true. Or Arkansas or Alabama, I mean, that's a plus.
Or Texas.
But as a reminder, yeah, that's true. As a reminder, my list is going to be the top 5 debuts, so new number ones that hit in the month of April. And I'm kicking off my list with Spectrograph, number 1. Shocking. Everyone hold their breath because it's written by James Tynion with art by Christian Ward, colors by Christian Ward. And this is from Distillery of all things.
Oh God.
I know. Did you read this or no?
No. So a couple reasons, Josh. One, because it is Distillery. Two, most stores I go to here don't carry Distillery comics. And 3, the trifecta, James Tynion. That's it.
Look, I've got a very public history of how I feel about James Tynion's writing. And look, that can still very much come to fruition here. However, I thought this was a good book. So real quick, we're going to hit the solicit, but a ghost story steeped in the decay of a century of capitalism. For years, the mansion has sat strangely nestled into the coastline just a short drive north of Los Angeles. Rumors have haunted the place for years. Its owner, a titan of American industry with a strange fascination in the occult and the paranormal. For decades, the richest men and women in the country have whispered to each other, trying to understand what he was building alone in that mansion for all those years. And now, finally, with his death and his estate finally open for sale, they're eager to find out for themselves. Spectrograph is perfect for fans of The Haunting of Hill House and The Conjuring. So this is a ghost story, and you have this prologue story. Yeah, look, I get what you're saying, Capital. He says I'm out of the first sentence of that synopsis. I get what you're saying, but it doesn't play out as much as I thought it would based on that. But you get a prologue that kicks off in 1967, and you have a character. It's the one who ends up owning this mansion that comes up for sale in present day. And he was obsessed with proving that ghosts are real. And he spends half of his life doing that before deciding ghosts aren't real. They're not real. You can't prove it. They're not there. But then he decides to use his money to try to create experiments to create ghosts. And you get this whole like just trippy ass story from there. But it's an interesting concept. I liked the take of it because it makes things a little different. And Christian Ward's art looks fantastic here. Great colors, great imagery. And I would say it looks more trippy than scary. But by the time you reach the end, it's just like the suspense picks up, the tension picks up, and you get a lot of just really freaky shit.
Wait a second. Are you suggesting that James Tynion infused some tension in a first issue?
Oh, right. It's shocking. Look, and there's some Tynianisms that are in here. I'm not gonna deny that it is James Tynion, but I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. And it beat out some other books, which I'll just reveal. Like for me, Redcoat, like good stuff, but also stuff that I didn't care for at all.
Yeah.
Geiger is fine, but I feel like if you've read the previous stuff, it feels like it's been there, done that, which I understand. And The Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives, which I thought was a solid start to a story, but for me, I thought this just topped it. But they mentioned The Haunting of Hill House and The Conjuring. I would say there's also some 13 ghosts in this, but not as cheesy.
I don't know if are we talking about the same film from the 1990s?
13 Ghosts? Yeah, well, okay, maybe I'm saying cheesy because of the production value, that some of the production value made it like a little...
Well, some of the ghosts look pretty fucking creepy. That's all I know.
Oh, no, agreed.
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's more so production, less story.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cheese for me. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was solid. Maybe worth checking out. And look, they're expensive books. They're $9.99, but it's also 54 pages. So you're getting a good chunk of a story. And it's oversized. And again, Christian Ward's art looks freaking fantastic in this. We've got Dark Messiah here. They had me at The Haunting of Hill House and Conjuring. Conjuring, I'm okay with, but Haunting of Hill House, for sure. Absolutely. We've got some degenerate comments we need to get to real quick, though. Jana Banana is in the house. Sup, boners? What's up, Jana? Good to see you here. And she wants to know, where's my majestic beard? Aaron is sitting this week out. Instead of doing our standard culture pop, we're doing our top 5 comics.
Majestic beard right now.
Yes. Yeah, and my majestic stubble. Yeah,
majestic. You got a nice stubble. Little patch of white right here.
That's right.
It's like a nice little soul patch of white in the beard right there.
Oh yeah, I've got it. See, I don't grow my beard out much anymore because I got a huge patch right here that's just grays. I was like, of course. It's like a trauma spot, except it's on my beard. Yeah. And then Flaccid Boosh calling Houston East Texas. Agreed. So we were on a stream the other night, and Boosh was saying that Houston is part of East Texas, and I'm like, man, Houston is its own thing. Like, you keep your ghetto loop circle out of East Texas. We're not having it. LK, the comic that no one knows about. Look, you're not wrong. Anything Distillery is like crickets. Heck, I read this and then I thought I was kind of crazy for liking it. So I was like, well, let me go see what people on YouTube are saying. I found one review. So that should tell you all that you need to know.
Yeah, and these guys, they're not even really promoting their own books, as far as I know.
Yeah, okay, this is how bad it is. I found one review, and then I found a video from James Tynan himself saying, like, hey, for however many issues you purchase of this over what your highest order from Distillery is, I will personally purchase that same number of issues to send to you, signed, unsigned, whatever, to kind of help you get sales. He made that offer to comic shops. And I'm just like, man, it's kind of wild. Promote your shit.
Yeah.
We've got Miss Sassy Sasquatch in the house. Is this where the nerds hang out? You better believe it. We hang out with her. I'm not gonna finish that for the dignity of other people like Flaccid Phoenix in the chat. We have Dempsey in the house. Hello, what's up, sir? How are you?
Yo.
But yeah, if you're willing to check out Distillery, maybe check it out. I think this is my favorite thing they've done so far, because yes, I've been reading, but the bar wasn't super high. I'll just put it that way. Max, look, y'all started early. Yes, because we don't have any of you West Coasters over here making us stay up till ungodly hours of the night. Retards. Get with the program. I don't know what you people do over there in the West Coast. I'm just kidding. I love you. I'm happy to see you here. Hope work went well. Have fun in class. That stuff. That whatever friends say. Those things. Yeah.
Our little boy's growing up.
He's got a real job now. Good question, Dark Messiah. What is it with comic book companies not knowing how to advertise or market? I mean, look, if you ever wondered if you had a good marketing team working for a comic book publisher, the fact that they market only in their own comic books pretty much tells you all you need to know. But yeah, they need to get it together. Hire someone that can come in and actually have some good ideas.
Yeah,
find ways to get books out there.
I'm out there literally on Instagram and Facebook every damn day promoting comic books and work that I'm doing, but Marat Michaels is doing as well. Yeah. And sure as hell want to bet that I'm going to make sure everyone on the planet knows about these projects.
Case in point, we saw, was it Dark Horse? Is it Dark Horse that's doing Space Ghost?
No, that's Dynamite.
So, Dynamite posted from their official YouTube channel an interview with David Pepos for Space Ghost. And we saw it I think a day or two after it had dropped, and it had 19 views, I think, and that's it. The fact that these publishers aren't utilizing their social media, which is practically free, publicity.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. They need to get their shit together.
Yeah, LK, and not just that, but you have to do it consistently. You have to set up a routine, always be there, be genuine, be true. then yeah, they'll show up. But if you're only going to do a video maybe once a month, if you're lucky, who's tuning in?
Yeah. LK came in with, so is Distillery just a Hollywood play then, hoping they get one of their properties sold? Oh, I mean, I think they're definitely shooting to try to get something sold for TV or a film, for sure. Yeah. And then Darth Messiah being a little snitch over here. Max, they started shooting on cats again. Well, you know, I mean, here's Max. We wave our pride flag high. Gay.
Yeah, only in California.
Yeah, only in California. So Drew, we're gonna move on to your number 5 pick of the week, and it is Rook Exodus #1, written by Jeff Johns, art by Jason Fabok, with colors also by Jason Fabok. Jeff Johns from Geiger and Jason Fabok, the celebrated team behind the smash hit Batman 3 Jokers, reunite for an all-new science fiction series. Hundreds of years from now, the man known as Rook was once a simple farmer who fled the crumbling Earth for new life on the planet Exodus, a terraformed planet where all of nature, including its imported animal population, was completely controlled by humans called Wardens. But when Exodus's world engine failed, the Warden's power fell into the wrong hands, creating chaos and mass evacuation for those who could afford it. The rest, like Rook, must scavenge for the escape vessel as the war of control of what's left for Exodus begins. Don't miss out on this new entry in the exciting Ghost Machine rollout. It's 44 pages of stories for only $3.99. Drew, why is this number 5?
Because there are 4 other ones that are better than this. This was a very fun read. Because when the preview book came out for all of the upcoming Ghost Machine books, this was the one I was least excited for. And I was just like, I really don't know about this. I don't know if I'm going to like this. This doesn't really sound that fun. But sure enough, this first issue proved me the hell wrong. I had so much fun reading this. Art is fantastic. The story is so kinetic. It's always moving. The panels are always changing, and you're always engaged. Dialogue is terrific, action packed. It is a beautifully well told first issue, and they've set a high bar for the second one, and I really hope it's just as good. Honestly, if you thought Geiger and Redcoat were great, you didn't read Rook Exodus, because this is the best of those first issues that came out.
I would say by far it's the best. And look, again, I think that Geiger and Redcoat are solid reads, but for me, just across the board, it just nailed it. The world building here I thought was really good. You've got a kind of post-apocalyptic type environment, but it doesn't feel repetitive compared to so much of what we typically see. I like the idea of these masks and what it lets them do. And there's good character moments too. There's a moment here where he comes across the man that's dying, and it's very clear that, you know, there's not much in terms of substances or food or medication or anything, but he's got this dying man and he gives him pain medication, which he could probably need or use. And I'm like, dude, that says so much about this character as an individual that I'm like, I'm on board. I want to see this guy succeed. You get a good backstory. You get a good story in between the two, you know, Earth and then Exodus, and you get a nice twist, I'll say, that I wasn't expecting concerning the bear. Like, you see the bear early on, and you learn about things by the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I thought this was a great read, and then freaking Jason Fabok art, man.
It's great to have him back. I've missed him for so long. It's a guy. He's an artist. It's like, dude, stop doing these shitty variant covers. Get back to doing interiors. That's where you belong. And yeah, he nailed it here.
Absolutely. But yeah, terrific read. This may or may not be the last time you see this on the list. Who knows? Let's see. Oh, look at this. Pop by Culture has twice the YouTube subs the Distillery has. You know what? That is awesome and really sad. It's really sad. But yeah, pop back culture. We're beating a publisher. I need to get a soundboard. But I need to make sure I have that horn that Max is supposed to play the wrong horn for me. So when he's going to do the horn, he's supposed to do the horn instead of so. And then LK was correcting us. In California, that, meaning the gay flag, is not the flag they're waving. You're right. They're waving one that's a little more pink and a little more blue. And then Flaccid, bring back MaxiPad. MaxiPad will return within due time. Probably with Craven the Hunter. But yeah. LK said, I had more enjoyment with Redcoat. I got real Jack of Fables vibes from it, which I loved. I can see that. I do think Redcoat had a little bit of a sense of humor, but I think, I don't know. I will say, I think there could be a lot of potential for Redcoat that it becomes a favorite of mine over time, but it didn't hit me the way that this hit me. So,
yeah, same.
Just with the first issue. Now, anything could happen in future issues, but that's where I landed with this. And then Darth Messiah, did y'all see Purchase video on Ghost Machine that he posted today? He says that he likes the stories, the talent, but says their marketing needs work. Sure. I mean,
Seems to be a very common story with all publishers.
Right. Well, okay. So even the fact that they released all 3 of these books in April, they released them all in the same week, which to me seems stupid.
That's a very stupid idea. It should have been 1 week that book, next week that book, next week that book. It just
agreed.
No, you don't. Yeah, it's like, why are you releasing them all in the same week? It's like DC would never do that. Marvel would never do that. It was a very strange decision.
Well, and I don't know if they were thinking like, oh, we're going to get a lot of conversations going on around this, but and I guess there were, but it also then competed with each other. So had you just
had canceling out other books of your own books at the same time.
If they had Geiger come out first, let people kind of get acclimated with it. I get it's kind of like a soft relaunch because it's now
again
the Ghost Machine. Yeah,
it's the third relaunch.
Oh, I know. But I mean, the concept that Ghost Machine might put more eyes on it, I kind of understand. But for people that have read it, it definitely puts them in a weird position. Then do Redcoat, bring it out, and then bring out Rook, and you've got like 3 weeks of people being like, "Hey, here's some solid shit right here." But you also have 3 weeks worth of conversation, not a mumbled conversation where people are going to pull out like, "Oh, I like this better. I like this better. This one's better." Just have your punches. Just get your punches each week. He followed that up with Perch. Also says he also hopes they don't rush into a line-wide team up too quickly and take time with their. Oh, agreed. I mean, just take your time. Tell your story. If you want to do a team up thing or a special way later down the road, fine. But you've got great talent that are a lot of the talent that are coming over to Ghost Machine are leaving the big two because they don't want to deal with doing crossover stories and having their stories interrupted. So don't do it here. It's just it would be a bad choice, a bad decision. But let's get on to our number 4. And before we get there, I'm going to say we have 60 people watching. If you can, please like the stream. Hey, like the stream, share, subscribe, especially if you're not watching from YouTube. If you're on the Twitterverse, come hop over to YouTube. Give us a share and a like and a little sub. But we're going to go with number 4. So my number 4 for the top 5 debuts of April 2024 is going to be Uncanny Valley number 1. Written by Tony Fleeks with art by, is it Dave Wachter? Is that how you say it? Wachter?
I like say Whacker. Just Dave Whacker.
Dave Whacker.
Whacking off his
art. We need to ask
bullshit.
Yeah, we need to ask Trish if she can find out from Tony, like, how do you pronounce his name? So we can say it right. But for the solicit for this, Oliver is a seemingly typical 12-year-old boy, except for a mysterious family history that seems to start and end with his mother and unexplainable powers, that is. He can do things that other boys can't, to the point of landing him in some trouble. Baffled by the surreal cartoonish nature of his abilities and followed by a murder of peculiar crows, The mystery behind Oliver's family history finally unfolds. Okay, I try not to judge a book by its cover, but I'm due. I'll be honest. And I picked this up because I pick up most number ones to give them a shot. And I didn't think I was going to love this. And then I opened it and I saw the first couple of pages, and the art was way different than I expected. And it looked fantastic. And then I started reading the story, and it's kind of like a really grounded story. And there are giveaways here, but it's almost kind of like you see it and you're like, well, that's weird, but you don't overthink it and you keep going. And then you reach the end of the book, which all hell kind of breaks loose, but in a very cartoony way. And I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. It wasn't what I expected, and it had me excited to read the next issue. So for me, I thought this was an excellent read. I believe you guys read it, and I think you and Kyle both praised this book, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this wasn't bad. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I recommended it with Wes on Thinking Critical. It has familiar elements from things you've seen in the past, like if you're around our age, like whether it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Cool World, Last Action Hero. It draws from those different elements, and The Plot Holes by Sean Gordon Murphy. And it's fun, and it takes it in a different direction, especially with the plot twist toward the end of this. You find out the lineage of this boy. It's like, wait, how in the hell does that work? Okay, now we're really getting into the Cool World story of this this comic book, and I'm curious to see how that played out. But yeah, it's a pretty fun read. The story's fun. These characters are pretty funny. They're fun to read about, and yeah, I'm curious to see where issue 2 goes.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm really curious to see where it goes, because the way the story ends is so different from the way the story begins, and it kind of leaves you with a bit of a, you don't have a full idea of what the rest of the story is going to be like. You get hints, but it changes so drastically by the end of this first issue that you can't feel confident in how the other issues are going to be. But a lot of fun. I'll say this: when I was a wee little lad, my favorite ride at Six Flags was the Yosemite Sam like water escape ride for little kids. But you got a Yosemite Sam type character here. But yeah, a lot of fun. If you're looking for something fun and escapism, and Drew's right, it's definitely reminiscent of things we've seen before. For me, that I thought of Roger Rabbit. But I just had a blast with this book, and I was grinning when I finished it. So well worth it. LK, loved Uncanny Valley. Everyone who loves the Looney Tunes has dreamt of something like this. That's a fair assessment. I can jive with that. Darth Messiah, love that Dave. Again, we're gonna call him Whacker.
Dave Whacker.
Love that Dave Whacker. Okay, he's gonna be like, guys, my name's like Watchter. Or watch it be like Walker or something. Yeah. Love that Dave. He doesn't even need a last name. He's just Dave. Love that Dave is getting more work and recognition. He came onto my radar from his awesome work on IDW TMNT. Yeah, I will say I was not familiar with him as an artist, and within like the first 2 to 3 pages, I was very curious of what he had done before. I liked it that much. It's just got a certain style to it, and it's really crisp, clean art. But it's I don't know if it's the colors or him. Well, I mean, he did the colors, but I don't know if it's his pencil work or his colors that give it almost like a textured, painted type look. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the art. Yeah. Okay, the scene where Oliver's explaining the other 2 school incidents was so good. You mean about how something just randomly caught on fire and it can't be explained? Yeah, that was fun because it sounds like a kid who's lying. Turns out it wasn't so much of a lie. Oh god, here we go. I knew I shouldn't have said anything. Flaccid Phoenix confirmed. Josh got wet for Yosemite Sam. If we're being factual, you are correct, because they have his guns would shoot water. LK, I told others this book is crossover done right. I mean, I'm not gonna say
honestly, I wouldn't even consider them the same thing, honestly.
No,
but just crossover
is more lighthearted and fun.
Yeah, lighthearted and fun. Fun is the key word there. Crossover is not fun. Crossover is fucking depressing, and it's not a fun read at all. It's just it feels like homework reading crossover.
I concur, Doctor. I concur. I think we're moving on to your number 4. So your number 4 pick. Are we on number 4? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on number 4.
Yeah.
I can count more gooder. Drew, yay. Your number 4 pick is Conan the Barbarian, number 10. Heck yeah. So written by Jim Zub, art by Robert De La Torre, colors by Dean White. Beyond flesh, beyond death, beyond time. Conan has traveled far and seen much in his legendary journeys, but nothing he has experienced thus far can prepare him for a quest to lands beyond. God, I can't read. For quests to lands beyond to answer dark riddles of the past. Unexpected allies await, fierce enemies loom, and the strange power of the Black Stone stirs in the age of Unconquered. Drew, tell us about Conan.
This was so much fun. Another issue, so much fun. Honestly, in this story, I mean, look. So this issue in particular, it's not the most action-packed issue of the series. It's not the most action-packed. So bear that in mind. Hello.
Boobs.
Oh, boobs. Yeah. Yes. Well, I would say some booty butt cheeks and some titties. Yeah, they're pretty glorious in this. And it's like, look, honest, come on. If I'm down there in the ship and I see that strutting in front of me, it's like, come on. It's leading itself. I'm like Quagmire. Like whoa. I'm just Yeah, you can't say no to that. I mean, you see this. If you open up this comic, you check out that chick. It's like, yep, okay, that's fair. And it's a very fun, funny, sexy read. And Roberto Del Torre is the star of this book. His art made this book enjoyable. And by the end of this issue, when they tried to go back to find Atlantis may not be there. Do check this out. It's very, very enjoyable. It's a very fun read. Very much in the essence of Robert E. Howard and Conan. Yeah, you'll enjoy this.
Yeah, I feel like with Conan, there are times within comics where you get like the perfect marriage of writer, artist, and story. And I think this is one of those instances that these three together, meaning Conan, Jim, and Robert, are just delivering some incredible work. And
yes, this is the best Conan has looked in decades.
Yep. And I'll even say that the second arc, which had a fill-in artist, wasn't terrible. It dipped a little bit, but it stayed consistent for the most part.
Yeah, it's like you said. Yeah, Doug Braithwaite, he is a great artist. I'm not taking that away from him at all. It's just that when you go from Roberto Del Torre and you go to Doug Braithwaite, it's not even close. It is two stark differences in art. And when you're so used to a beautiful style, then you give that, it's like that's great, but I want that. I want that style. But thankfully he's back, and I said it before and say it again. Kind of Marvel does like the Treasury editions or the Absolute editions of Roberto Del Torre's art, because I would just love to see the black and whites of this, because his art's beautiful.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even think about that. The black and whites of this have to. Well, I mean, hell, even looking at Savage Sword of Conan and all those, the black and white art in that, it looks fantastic. So this, because his art too has such a classic style to it. It feels like it's done the quote unquote old school way. Like it feels like it's actual pencils.
It's John Buscema. Yeah, it's fucking John Buscema. And yeah, take my money. Yeah, every day of the week, I'm there.
Yep, 100%. Look, if you're not reading Conan, if this is another character that you're like, oh, I've never been into Conan, the first trade just came out, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Your comic shop probably has them. Go pick it up. Go read the first trade. It's the first 4 issues. It's so good. And it's I'll put it this way: it's good enough that I remember there were reports stating that it actually started growing in sales I think so. You have your number one, and you tend to see like a dip, and then it started going back up, which is not common. So it's a quality book. More people need to read it, and go check it out for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing no comments on Conan. What's wrong? We even talked about boobies.
Maybe they're checking this out themselves. They're all like befuddled, and curiosity.
Yeah. Drew, if this were young lad Army Drew, or not Army, but Air Force. Anyways, when he was serving, if this were young Air Force Drew, and if he picked up this specific comic, he'd probably be like flipping. I'll be in my bunk, and then we wouldn't see Drew again. But
they come out like Quagmire with a massive forearm, like
giggity.
Yeah, giggity.
Darth Messiah, I started my Conan journey with Jason Aaron and currently going through the Dark Horse stuff.
Yeah, the Dark Horse stuff isn't bad. It's not bad. It's good. Kurt Busiek is a good writer. It's not the best Conan stuff. And Jason Aaron, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
Should have just left it. And I'm sorry. Did Jason Aaron write Savage Avengers?
No, that was Jerry Duggan.
Okay, that's right. I thought that was okay. I thought that was pretty solid starting off, but yeah. Good times. We're gonna move on to we're reaching our top 3. So exciting stuff about to happen.
We're edging. We're almost there. We're edging.
We're edging. We also have 72 people watching right now. So thanks. Give us a like. Again, if you're not on YouTube, come swing over to the YouTube side. Give us a subscribe. We do a lot of nerd stuff like this. We have our just commentary weekly show, Culture Pop, which is usually on Tuesday nights. And we usually have Aaron joining us for that. And then we have our new series, Marvelous Monday, which we just recorded our 3rd episode for last night. I won't say what movie we watched, but if you go check my Twitter, you'll probably have an idea because I said it's my favorite Marvel movie of all time. And that may or may not be sarcasm. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate all of you watching. And let's see, number 3. Well, we're going to go back to my top 5, which is the top 5 debuts of April. And my 3rd pick is Drawing Blood number 1. Did you read this?
So the funny thing, I read the original iteration of this. They came out 4 years ago, and
heck, I don't even know. I must have missed that.
Yeah, this Drawing Blood came out, I think, roughly 4 years ago, and because it follows these two. It's a fictionalized story of Eastman and Laird, more or less, creating their own characters. In this case, it was the radically radiated Ronin ragdolls or something like that. I forget what it's called. And they ended up doing a one-shot. So I didn't get a chance to read this, unfortunately, because I wasn't sure. I'm like, why go back? Why tell it again? I don't understand unless it was just a reprint of it. But tell me, what did you think about this?
So look, I will say I judged the book by its cover again, and I was like, I respect Kevin Eastman. I don't know. And then he's not doing the art on the inside, but the art was way different and still quite freaking good than what I was expecting. But this is written by Kevin Eastman and David Avallone, art by Ben Bishop. Ben Bishop, awesome. And Kevin Eastman has a few little pages in there with colors by Troy Little. The legendary Kevin Eastman, co-creator of the iconic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series and former publisher of the popular heavy metal magazine, returns to comics with a look into the roller coaster life of a successful comic creator. When you create a global franchise before you turn 20, what happens next? Readers will follow the jaw-dropping journey of Shane Bookman, our cartoonist whose real life has become more absurd and action-packed than any comic book story that he could dream up. Look, I'll say you start this off with 2 characters doing cocaine in a van. So, already I was like, oh, okay, so this is all right. We're going here. That's fine. And it kind of addresses it like, the characters kind of say like, clearly I'm not going to be the most, the best influence for your kids type of thing. But No, it's an interesting concept. It starts off kind of, it does that trope of like we're going to start at the end of the first issue, but then we'll go back and catch you up. It does that, but I just thought it was a little unique and a lot of fun. I liked the kind of commentary that it had on writing and maybe even the comics industry to a degree, because there's a character that isn't painted in the best light in this, and that maybe does some shady things, and yeah. But it gets us off on a nice little journey. All the characters that you meet have enough development that they feel unique, they feel different. And I kind of want to see where this goes. It's 12 issues, so it's going to be a maxi series, but we've got a good setup. And your main character, Shane Bookman, pretty much rich from a story he told that went huge, and he's kind of getting thrown in this crazy life of crime. So
now, real quick, is he related to Detective John Bookman from Seinfeld? That is the important question.
That is. Maybe we'll find that out in future issues. As of right now, we don't know.
Okay.
But I will say Ben Bishop, man, like great work. This is another artist I'm not familiar with, but really good, crisp, clean art. And I would almost say that it's bland, but he manages to make his characters emote really, really well. And not just in the face, but in body language too. So a fun book. Again, there are some tropes here that, you can't deny that they exist, but they still kind of manage to put enough of a spin or like texture to it that it doesn't feel tropey, for the lack of better words.
Yeah, tropes are there because they work. So yeah,
agreed, and spot on. These work, so I am okay with it. Let's see, Joe Corallo,
hey,
ladies and gentlemen, comic book writer and award-winning editor Joe Corallo. He says David is one of the more underrated comics writers working right now. After this, I can see that. I'll have to look into some other stuff. Hey, Joe, since you're a comic book encyclopedia, if you have some recommendations, drop them in the chat and I will share them. But yeah, you can tell there are moments here where it's almost like he's pulling from his life experience, but then you can also tell that it's very much a fiction in the story. But he has fun with it, and it feels honest. Like there's some stuff that you can tell a character is going through a bit of a depression to a degree, but it's not too heavy that you're like, God, this is depressing. But it also isn't heavy-handed to where you're rolling your eyes. Like it's done relatively well. So I thought this was a solid debut. I didn't think I was going to like this book, so I'm happy that it popped up in my top 3. And Joe said he is doing a lot of the Elvira comics at Dynamite, which are genuinely fun reads.
Okay, yeah, I have read those. Yeah, they're not bad. Yeah.
I'll have to maybe check out some Elvira, which, I don't think I've ever said before. So.
Oh, I have. Oh, yeah.
Drew's like, I have. Meanwhile, I'm like, there's a first for everything.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Elvira. Boobalicious.
Oh, yes.
Drew, we are going to move on to your number 3. So we're moving into your top 3. So your overall top 3 comic is Transformers number 7, written by Daniel Warren Johnson, art by Jorge Corona, with colors by Mike Spicer. Just going to say, I'm very happy that this is here. I'm very happy that the Jorge Corona art transferred as well as it did. And I'm glad we didn't spiral. But who will lead the Decepticons after last issue's shocking ending? Starscream and Soundwave battle for leadership, and the result will change the Decepticons forever. And the Autobots learn that they may have more allies than they imagined. Jorge Corona joins Daniel Warren Johnson to begin the Energon universe story that will have everyone talking. Lay it on us, Drew. Tell us about Transformers number 7.
Yeah, so like you said with Jorge Corona, when Daniel Warren Johnson said he was done with issue 6, most of us were very, very, very concerned that the art was going to take a steep dip in quality, especially when it was announced that Jorge Corona was taking over the art. We're like, really? This guy? I mean, don't get me wrong, he's good, but he doesn't really come across as a Transformers guy. And but sure enough, he knocked it out of the park. And it is incredibly detailed. It's incredibly beautiful. It is incredibly brutally graphic in a lot of the scenes. I loved it. Like the fight that Starscream and Soundwave have in this. Holy shit! I loved it. It is amazing. It is brutal. Starscream gets his ass handed to him in this. It is awesome. It's a sight to behold. And how Optimus Prime is illustrated is beautiful. And just you're given what you're promised here. You know, is a fight to see who leads the Decepticons. And I may have spoiled it in that what I just said. But do check this out. Transformers is still rocking and rolling. It's still big rigging. Do check this out, guys. You will not be disappointed with Transformers.
I remember the announcement of Jorge Corona, and we all kind of went, ugh. But I will also say he was like wrapping up his work on Batgirls, which was a total in my book. But we got the teaser art, and we were like, okay. I mean, it's just like a page, but it looks good. It does look good. And then we got the book, and I think one of the things that's worked really well for Transformers is it's like an action-packed, fun book, but it balances other like genre story beats very well. Like you get nice dramatic moments here and there, like dramatic or heartfelt moments. You get really brutal action at times. Then you also just get fun action at times. So this is another one. Again, it's this whole Energon, little sphere world. It's just so much fun that I think if you're not reading it, you should. And then, go ahead.
This is back to the roots of the Transformers. It is really who the characters are at their core. It is Rock'em Sock'em robots, which is exactly what we all want. And they're giving us exactly what we want. And they are kicking each other's asses. It's perfect. There's no other allegories in this are hidden or just blatantly obvious. It is fun action, for all ages. And it's amazing.
And I'll say, we know that the Transformer movies are heading to incorporate the G.I. Joe characters into them. And I think it's fair to say that the Transformer movies and the G.I. Joe movies have not been the best. And if Hollywood's going to do this, I hope they look to these books to see how it's done. Or how to do it well.
Yeah. Because one thing that's great, I love so far. I love the fact we haven't seen Megatron yet. And Megatron, we've got a hint at where he's at, but he hopefully he plays a major presence in this second half, this next batch of 6. So that should be a lot of fun.
And it's it's something that seems like it should be obvious, but I think we've gotten into such a weird territory of everyone kind of like blows their load at the beginning. I'm so glad they've waited to bring him in because it gives you a nice impact for later in the story. So good stuff all around. We have Ivan Sanchez throwing down some opinions. I'm not going to say if, the book shares these or not, but Soundwave superior, Starscream inferior.
I love it. You got to say that Soundwave. Starscream. I can't do it. I'm not even gonna try it. But just
I'm not gonna try because my voice is already given out to do regular talk. I'm chugging bottles of. I've gone through a full bottle and I'm already halfway through another one. But if I could do the voice, I would do it right now. Darth Messiah, hot take. I liked the IDW Transformers. Yes, I'm prepared for the roasts.
Let's just say. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. That's all I'm going to say.
Fair. Everyone, yes. We love you and your opinions, and we're happy that you have them.
Yes.
Darth Messiah does have a good question, though. Will Daniel Warren Johnson continue to write? If not, who do you want to take over? So I think he's writing through... Was it 18?
12. Or is it 18? Okay. I thought it was 12. Okay.
Maybe it is 12.
But honestly... it's got to be someone who's bringing that fun kinetic energy to it too. Honestly, I would love to see Eric Burnham take over. I think Eric Burnham is ready for prime time. I think this could be the next step, the next jumping point, stepping off point for him. Because he's been at IDW for a long time. doing a lot of the Saturday morning adventure books, Ghostbusters for the longest time, which is great. He's knocking it out of the park. But I think if he were to take Transformers like right now where it's at, Skybound, I think he could kill it. I really, really, truly think he can.
Yeah. That could be a good pick. It'll be interesting to see what they do, and when they announce it, because you don't want to undercut the end of this run. And for all we know, like they might take a small. Do you think they take a small break after 12, or do you think they're going to try to keep the momentum?
You got to keep it going. Honestly, if you don't, I mean, you're gonna kill the enthusiasm. You're gonna lose the backers and the buyers, and just no. You don't want to cause that. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. Comics, it's notorious that if you ever give people a reason not to buy, they will stop buying. So you got to keep it going. I think hopefully we'll find out who's going to be writing within the next 2 to 3 months, just because of solicits. So
yeah.
Speaking of comics and people that are legends, Eric Breen, what's up, brother? How are you? Another encyclopedia of comics. Glad to see you here, Breen. And we are moving in to each of our final 2 picks. So we're going in with the top 2. So moving into number 2, my number 2 for the best debuts of April is Dick Tracy number 1. So written by Alex Segarra, Michael Morici, and Chantel Amy Osman, art by Geraldo Borges.
Sure.
I'm from Texas, and colors by Mark Engelhardt. So Dick Tracy returns in a new ongoing comic book series from Mad Cave. Dude, freaking Mad Cave. We had something else from Mad Cave on here, and I can't think of what it was. I don't know, but I'll have to go back and look. But Mad Cave is actually delivering some. Oh, it was Tony Fleeks. It was Uncanny Valley, I think.
Oh, that's Mad Cave? I thought it was Dark Horse.
Maybe that is. Oh, crap. I'll have to go back and look. But I think we had 2 books from Mad Cave on here. So kudos to Mad Cave. You guys are delivering some good stuff. And if you hear jingling in the background, it's my dog scratching. But Dick Tracy returns in a new ongoing comic book series from Mad Cave. A new era for the iconic detective starts here from best-selling and acclaimed author Alex Segarra and Michael Morici, as an all-new noir-infused chapter in the Dick Tracy legacy kicks off with superstar artist Geraldo Borges. In the aftermath of World War II, the country stands frozen, waiting for the next shoe to drop. In the city, a brutal murder draws the attention of rising star detective Dick Tracy, who soon discovers the bloodshed is just the beginning of a complicated web that threatens to ensnare everything he cares about. Blending the classic elements of the Dick Tracy world, including his iconic villains, supporting cast, and unforgettable watch radio, with a hard-boiled and realistic take, Dick Tracy number 1 kicks off a fresh and modern take on the iconic detective that remains true to his rich history. Drew, did you read this?
I did.
Okay. Did you?
So yeah, I remember reading the newspaper strips growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching the film a whole bunch of times as a kid with Warren Beatty as Dick Tracy. I watched it a lot, probably too many times. But with that being said, I'm not saying this is bad. I want to say I'm not saying this is bad. It just I didn't know how to feel about this. It's something.
Okay.
I understand they're going for a more realistic approach with this, but it's like, but still at the same time, I'm just like, I'm thinking this is not the approach I would have gone with Dick Tracy. It didn't feel right.
Okay,
doing this with Dick
that's
Tracy.
fair.
I mean, maybe that's just me, but it's. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the art is great. It's a bold choice. I really like I said, I'm a fan of the original newspaper strips. I really wasn't a fan of what they did with Tess Trueheart in this. That's just my opinion.
Okay,
I didn't like what they did with her. And,
that's fair.
But I'll say, okay, if you don't have the baggage like I do with Dick Tracy, you'll probably enjoy this. There we go.
Look, I thought this was a lot of fun, but also, again, more serious than I thought it was going to be, a little heavier than I thought it was going to be, because I'm used to Dick Tracy being, I would say, a little hokey, a little like, I don't know. That's my take, because of the time period that it takes place in. It usually kind of lives in the element, and you get that here, but you also get some nice seriousness that I thought it blended pretty well, of taking kind of little bits of both of these things and I felt like it should not have worked, but did work. But yeah, I thought there was a lot of stuff to enjoy here. I can understand what you're saying about Tess, right? Was it Tess?
Yeah, Tess Trueheart. Yeah.
Tess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't know. I thought this was a good debut. It because it was different, it felt unexpected, but I still felt like it was for the most part true to the idea, but with a slant to it. So for me, I thought this was a solid read. And this is another one that I didn't really expect much from. I do like Michael Marici though. I think he's a really good writer that doesn't get the credit he deserves. So, okay, yeah. See, Eric Breen's coming in because I did not read a lot of Dick Tracy, but he said people who haven't read a lot of Dick Tracy seem to like it better. I fit that category. A friend of mine who has read all the newspaper strips didn't like it as much. So it does seem like that might be the case because I think we don't have the history and the reverence to what came before to kind of like really hold on to. So for me, this was a good one. Darth Messiah. Do I need to read the newspaper strips for this? Every single one of them. If you don't read the newspaper strips, you won't know what's going on. No, I'm kidding. I will say I thought the shoot 'em up scene was pretty graphic and done well.
Didn't see that coming. Yeah, it's like, oh, this is where we're going with Dick Tracy.
Right.
Okay.
I was familiar enough with the comic strips to know not to expect that, and then it happened. So I was like, oh, well, okay, we're going there. All right. Also from Darth Messiah, Drew wants more Warren Beatty, Dick Tracy. Give me Warren Beatty, Dick Tracy, or give me nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Blasted Phoenix, I would never guess someone would still pearl clutch for Dick Tracy. Yeah, well,
Well, hey, Dick Tracy is a legacy newsprint fictional American character, and he literally over 100 years old. Dick Tracy is. Almost as much as Superman is. Phantom, Prince Valiant, like all these characters are legacy characters in the United States, and people still pearl clutch with Superman. So there you go.
Yeah, true. I mean, hell, look at this. We're not doing culture pop, but since you mentioned Superman, they released the costume, and while we have thoughts on the costume, no one's really talking about the costume. Everyone's talking about the setting and the tone and the mood of that photo and how wrong it is. You got freaking Metropolis getting destroyed and Superman sitting over here looking depressed with a bag under his eye, being like, well, I guess I'm
annoyed. It's like, oh shit, I got to go back to work now. Damn.
Yeah. Instead of being like, I'm super, let's go. So, and then Flaccid said, true, we just need to revive these characters. Yeah. Let's do it. But we are moving on to Drew's second pick, Nottingham, number 11. So this is written by look, correct the pronunciation if I get it wrong, but David Hazen.
Sure.
Written by David Hazen with art by Shane Connery Volk, colors by Luca Romano. The Changing of the Guard. Everard Blackthorne, the sheriff of Nottingham, returns home to find a city he barely recognizes, with the merry men in charge and Robin and the king closing in. Blood, panic, and treachery flow in equal measure. So, Drew, I have a confession. I've never read a single issue of Nottingham.
Bullshit.
I swear to God. Not wait, I think this is this Mad Cave?
Yes.
Okay, this was the other Mad Cave. Yeah. I've never read a single issue, and I've had so many people tell me how great it is, and I'm like, oh, I need to check that out.
Joe, I know you're still in the chat. Joe, I know you're working and lurking. Tell Josh to fix himself. He needs to read Nottingham because Joe, you work for Mad Cave. You know for a fact this is an amazing series. Tell Josh he needs to fix himself. He needs to read this. All right. This series is amazing. Look, because real quick, with let's start with the art here. Shane Connery Volk. His art has only gotten better with every single issue. You go back to the very first issue, it looked I don't want to say kind of flat, but like it was kind of flat. But you look at it now, it is very very wholly dimensional now. It's 3-dimensional. Like, it is beautiful. You really see the depth of the art now. It's amazing. But this story, it picks up right where it left off. We see what's happened to Nottingham. It's kind of fallen to pieces. It's like, let's just say, put it into common phrases, common political movements or whatever. It'd be like if a city completely gave into the BLM movement. What would happen to that city? And here you go. This is what would happen to Nottingham. And it's horrific. It's sad. But then you see, like, oh yeah, the king, he's coming back. And you see, like, the smoke and, like, the fires in the background showing that they're slowly approaching the city. And you got the sheriff, trying to, more or less going to try to save the city. But yeah, it's great stuff. You do want to pick this up. You're not going to miss out on this. This is because there have been so many retreads of the Robin Hood story. They're just very old, played out, drawn out, lame. This is just, it gives it a fresh, new approach. It's fantastic. Everyone should enjoy this. Everyone will enjoy this. And Josh, you will enjoy this. Joe, I know you're in the damn chat. Yep, there we go. He commented. Here. I knew it.
Yeah,
he's here. Yes. Thank you.
So Joe, comic book writer and award-winning editor Joe Corallo. Josh should absolutely be reading Nottingham. Look, we'll just take my name out of it and put you. You should absolutely be reading Nottingham. Yeah, this is, look, someone else. Oh, okay. It was Flash Ray Videos. So let me pull this up real quick. Same situation here. Never read a single issue of Nottingham either. I feel you, buddy. And then I heard the buzz, but missed the first few issues and never went back. That was the issue that I read.
There are hardcover collections right now. They are amazing. I've got one. When I met Joe at Baltimore a couple years ago, Mad Cave was selling hardcovers that were double signed by David and Shane, and like, I cannot pass that up. I'm buying one. Kyle bought one, and yeah, it is a fantastic, wild ride. It's so beautifully illustrated. It's fun to just reread, because you love to see where the journey is going to go, because you don't know where it's going to go, because it's not playing out the typical Robin Hood way, and that's what makes it all the more fun.
Right. And Darth Messiah wants to know, does Robin Hood ever appear in this?
Yes, he does.
And then Phoenix wants to know, what about Robin of the Hood? Because wow, this would have been so much better if it took place in modern day and wasn't all black cast. Oh man, leave it to Flaccid.
Didn't we get that in the CW? I think maybe
it was a Canadian. Was it CW? It was a Canadian show that was like CW level. But yeah, it was. I can't remember what they called that show. Yeah. But Robin of the Hood, Robin in the Hood, something like that. Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Robin in the Hoods. Yeah,
Robin in the Hoods. Darth Messiah. My only knowledge of the Robin Hood mythos is the animal Disney movie. You've never seen Robin Hood Man in Tights?
That is my favorite. So real quick, the Robin Hood Disney film, that is my favorite Disney film of all time. I've got that as my text ringer. Like the Robin Hood, Little John walking through the forest. Golly, 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 what a day! Just that is my ring. That is my text ringtone. Love it. And, yeah.
I love that I didn't know that, but I love that I know that now. I'm just gonna start texting you in Dallas nonstop. Oh man, that's gonna be great. Yeah, look, I think Robin's a lot of fun. I think part of it was I didn't jump on it because I wasn't sure about it, and then I got a few issues in, but this was before the trade had come out, and I was just hearing nothing but praise, because even Wes has been praising this since the beginning. And then I was like, let me see if I can find it. And I couldn't find the issues. And I was like, I'll catch the trade. And I think I just forgot. And then it went on like a hiatus for a while, didn't it?
Yeah. Then they did. It took a break. And they did like Tales from Nottingham, like little one shots. It was the last one they did was with Max Visaggio, which
that's right. Yeah.
Shocker included a trans character in the mythos. So it's like, right, what you know. There you go.
Shocked. But yeah, look, I will fix myself, and I will get the trades, the collections, and I will get caught up so I can enjoy this nice little masterpiece.
Yes,
So
it is it really is a masterpiece. I'm not that is no hyperbole. It is a fantastic read. Yeah,
I believe you. I've heard nothing but high praise about this book, and I need to jump on it. So, with that said,
Tonto, jump on it.
Tonto, jump on it. We have moved to our number one pick. I think mine. So, chat. Keep in mind I'm picking debuts. Do you think you have an idea of what my number one pick is for the month? It may or may not have already appeared on the list, so this will be a little brief. But my number one debut for the month of April was Rook Exodus #1. It fell into Drew's top 5 overall. We already kind of praised the heck out of it. It's a good book. Go check it out. I look, in general, I hope you guys go check out some of these new publishers and new books that are coming out. Just give them a shot. Give the first 2 to 3 issues a go, read it, see what you like. Because we've seen that we're not getting quality from the big two. And I would like to see some of these smaller publishers and some of these other titles just kind of take off. And we've gotten a good go with the Energon series, but I'd like to see some other things kind of step up and start building up a fandom and a fan base, because it's quality talent, quality work, and it deserves to be read. So go check it out, and don't try not to sell the high C's. Like go buy a copy. We're not those types of degenerates. But yeah, I feel like we said everything we needed to say about this earlier. Good writing, great, incredible art. A nice story, a lot of elements to the story. They took their time. You can tell they worked their narrative, and even the dialogue is pretty damn good at times. So worthy of the top spot for me. But the question is, what is taking Drew's top spot? What is taking Drew? I wonder what it could be. I wonder. Is it G.I. Joe related? Is it from Energon? Is it Duke #5? Oh, buddy. Written by Joshua Williamson. Okay, I mentioned we're going to talk about Joshua Williamson again. This is I'm still going to read the synopsis in a second, but this is by far the best thing that I've ever read by Joshua Williamson, to the point that I'm over here giving it side eye, being like, "Are we sure? Are you sure that Joshua Williamson wrote this?" Because the Joshua Williamson that I know doesn't stick a landing, has almost never stuck a landing, and he stuck this landing. So I'm thinking there's a whole like Christos Gage situation going on where we've got a ghostwriter stepping in saying they're, somebody else writing the book. But regardless, written by Joshua Williamson, art by Tom Riley, with colors by Jordi Belair. Codename G.I. Joe is here. Duke has been betrayed by his allies and hunted by new enemies. The time has come for Duke to start fighting for something bigger than his country, bigger than he ever could have imagined. Get ready for the last page shocker that no one will see coming. Drew, explain why this deserves the #1 book for April.
I mean, you said it. He stuck the landing, and Josh Williamson has never stuck the landing before in any of his runs, ever.
Never, ever.
Yeah, never, ever. And he killed it here. This whole series, issues 1 through 5, were fan-fucking-tastic. And the art is fantastic. The pacing, the action, the comedy, the one-liners, the over-the-top action, just using fighter jets and trucks as weapons. I loved it. It's good craziness. And not just that, but the character Duke himself, he's been, pretty much disassociated from the military. He's been treated like, talked down to like he's crazy, he's nuts, we're going to lock him away. But no, and finally he has this huge badass fight with this, I forget the name of this robot. He's a character from the lore. But anyway, he just takes out everything on this damn robot, everything he's gone through since the encounter with Starscream. And yeah, let's just say the robot may not make it out of it in one piece. But yeah, this was a fantastic, fun read all the way from beginning to end. And where it ends, I cannot wait to see where it goes to next, because they are promising something very damn big, and they better fucking deliver on that, because This has been a lot of fun. Cobra Commander's a lot of fun, also written by him. They need to deliver. They got to. If they don't, I'm going to be pissed because this stuff's been so damn good. Yeah, like you said, like sticking to landing, it's a lot of things that a lot of creators can't do, unfortunately. Or if they write something this good, you're wondering, did they actually write this? Like, case in point for me is Mariko Tamaki on Batman Dark Detective for the future universe thing, whatever that's called. Like, I remember reading it thinking, you did not write this. There's no way. This is too damn good. And because I just remember thinking Ben Abernathy probably wrote this. Like, she probably gave like a shitty outline and Ben finished it for her or something. Because I'm like, no, there's no way you wrote this. This is too good. But this is how I felt with Josh. I'm like, this is too damn good, man. Yeah, you got. I mean, I know. Look, they're toy brands, they're toy comic book brands, but they are doing such great stuff with this right now. It's blowing away anything and everything from Marvel and DC right now. That's how good these books are. Do check these out. They are worth the price. They're worth the cost of admission.
Yeah, I completely agree. Again, I've had so much fun with this stuff, but Duke, even out of all these Energon stuff, has consistently been, just ahead of everything else in its quality. And I hate that it's a 5-issue run because I don't really want to see it end. But at the same time, that might be why it works so well. And as Drew said, it looks like they're setting up some stuff. And I typically would not think, I hope Josh Williamson writes what I think they're setting up. But at this point, I hope he's the one that writes it. I hope he gets a little break, can catch a breather, and then comes back and nails another story as good as this was, because it's just been a freaking blast. So yeah, ton of fun. LK said Duke had moments where it looked like my old toys came to life. Absolutely.
Yes.
Which is yeah, I mean, it says enough on its own. And JD Petty has a question real quick, but is this indicative that it's an editor issue and not just a writer issue? And I think he's referring to quality. Could be. I think, and look, I'll kind of turn to Drew for this. No matter how good of a writer you are or aren't, a good editor is always going to make you better.
Absolutely. 100% true. Case in point, Joe Corallo, on Born of Blood. I mean, if he hadn't been aboard on Born of Blood, it wouldn't have been as good as it was. It would not have had it. Yeah, there's no way. And he really made that series shine, thankfully. And he really helped me, guide me along the way to help make me a better writer.
Right. But yeah, even with that, I think writers are always going to have some stories that are better than others. It's just, it's natural. Like, it's going to happen. They're going to have a dud every now and then, and they're going to have a rock star every now and then. For me, this is by far Josh Williams' rock star. When I think of Josh Williamson, I'm going to think of this, as like the book to turn to. Like, if you want to read a good Joshua Williamson book, this is it. So, but yeah, I think, again, strong editor is important, but you can definitely tell when there's a bad writer or a bad editor or both on a book. So
yeah, I reading this, I really, it feels like he's having fun writing this. It feels like he is absolutely having fun doing this. Whereas with anything he's doing with DC, it really feels like that's work, that's struggle. It's not that fun over there.
Well, we know that he kind of had to fight for what he wanted to do, and it seems like he didn't even get to do what he wanted to do. So when you're having to pull the legwork at a major publisher, one of the big two, and then you don't have people in your corner, and you have people trying to do other things or what they want out of it. Yeah, I mean, you're watching your vision just crumble before you, and you're not going to be very motivated to really want to put the effort in. So. Curzon said the Free Comic Book Day short story was cool. I didn't pick up any of the Free Comic Book Day stuff. I don't know if you did, but
so by the time I got to the Free Comic Book Day event, a lot of the stuff was already sold out, unfortunately. Like, I got the bottom of the barrel stuff that was left, like the 3 or 4 books. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll read this one about I forget what it was. I don't know. The hell with it. But just nothing to really write home about.
Right. Yeah, I didn't make it to
I wanted the Johnny Quest one. the one I wanted more than anything else was the Johnny Quest. And
dude, I didn't even know there was a Johnny Quest one. So, I'll see if my LCS. I mean, they usually clear out of their free comic book stuff because hey, they're free. But if they have one left, I'll see if I can snag it for you. I'll see you in
Cool.
practically a month, anyways. If you can wait that long. Yeah, I didn't make it to my comic shop. My comic shop's about 45 minutes away from where I live. And I recorded with Wes Saturday morning. And then afterwards, I was meeting my parents going 45 minutes in the opposite direction of my comic shop. So by the time I would have gotten there, it would have been right as they were closing. And I didn't want to be that guy. So even though.
How many viewers do we got right now, Josh?
73 viewers between Twitter and YouTube.
You know what? I'm going to say screw it. I'm going to share some of this art real quick. So yeah, we're going to share some art.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is some breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yeah. So these images just came in. They're not, bear in mind, these are not done yet. Not completely done, but we showed the Andrew Mangum Born of Blood exclusive right here. That's gonna be for Dallas Fan Expo. So here, we're gonna have, like I said, they're gonna have two different versions of this. This is one of them. It's not done yet, but that's gonna be one of the colored versions right there.
Nice.
And this one isn't done yet as well, but this version too.
Nice. I love that crimson kind of color in the background.
Yeah. So those three versions we're planning on having at Dallas Fan Expo. And on top of that, I'll show you a new panel of art that just came in from Aurelio from Unholy Nightmare. We're right here. He's working on it right now. Damn. But yeah, you can see it too well. But yeah, it's got some decapitation action going on right there. Sorry, just.
Yeah, I know.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I know which panel you're showing. Yeah, good stuff, man. So okay, there we go.
Hi.
I'm a professional. Since we kind of mentioned Dallas Fan Expo, we're gonna be there. So Drew's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. Max is gonna be there. Kyle is gonna be there, and I believe Aaron's gonna be there. So we're gonna have a whole group of people. So if you're gonna be at Dallas Fan Expo, let us know. Like, we love to see people. And
I can't hear you, Josh.
internet. Are you gonna have it?
Oh, okay.
Are you having a teaser book at Dallas, or is that New York?
What's that?
Are you having the teaser book in Dallas, or is that in New York?
So we're gonna have the teaser. We're gonna have a teaser at Dallas, and we may have the full issue at New York.
Oh,
May. Depending, because Aurelio's finishing up the last few pages. If we're able to get them out, fulfilled, he's able to get all the art out and sent out to us, to the backers. Yeah, we should hopefully have a full issue at New York Comic Con.
Nice. Y'all, when Drew did that little like laugh that looked like it was an oh shit laugh, I started sweating because like, oh shit, was I not supposed to say anything about the teaser issue? Oh man. But no, I've heard some of what they plan on putting in that, and it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, just be on the lookout for Dallas. And then if you, like I said, if you plan on going, letting us know. We want to see you. We want to hear from you. We love talking to you guys out in public. Especially Drew. Like, you know, he's got books out and it has a ton of shit coming. So good stuff coming in the pipeline. And who knows, maybe someday some people are going to have a YouTube channel with the top 5 or top 10 lists, and Drew's going to be on it. So we'll wait and see. Maybe.
Hopefully.
But with that, we're going to start wrapping things up. We're currently at roughly 75 viewers between Twitter and YouTube. Again, I want to say thank you guys for coming. Thanks for tuning in. If you don't subscribe to us on YouTube, please go subscribe. We've got a ton of stuff that, again, is coming in the pipeline. we're kind of working our butts off to get some content for you all. And our goal is just to be honest, to share about what we like, what we dislike. A lot of it's going to have more of the like slant. But we're kind of going through our favorite nerd stuff. So, oh, look, one of my favorite people ever popped in. Hey guys, I'm driving, so I can't chat, but I'm listening to Josh's dulcet tones cut in and out with his internet. You know, it happens. I feel like Zax, I'm turning into you because I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting to where I can't speak because of my throat. So we're rubbing off on each other. But Drew, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook as Dolan Waddick. You can find me on Instagram, Dolan_Waddick. And I repost nothing but projects I'm working on with Marat Michaels. Art, that's all I do, because I love to share and spread my work. I want everyone to see this work, and I think everyone will be blown away by these projects.
Yeah, I will say, guys, again, I've read a number of the stuff that he has coming out, and Drew is getting better and better, and doing some different stuff in the future, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
It's just, different than what you might expect from what you think. You'll get a certain vibe off Drew of, okay, he does these types of books, and then the moment you think that, he's going to surprise you. So really good stuff in the works, and I'm excited for him, and I can't wait to see this stuff come out and just for him to get the success that he deserves. So but yeah, if you want to see what this retard is up to, you can find me at Joshua L. McDonald on Twitter or at By Popped. By Popped is the Pop by Culture handle, so it's strictly nerd stuff. If you get into my channel, you'll see some more spicy conversations. We are here every Tuesday. It is typically for Culture Popped, but this week we took a little side venture for our top 5 comics. And next Monday we have our second episode of Marvelous Monday dropping. It is X-Men First Class. We had a hell of a lot of fun doing that episode. The edit is coming together really nicely. It's a fun little package. And like I said, we filmed episode 3 last night. Again, I'm not going to say what movie it was, but if you go to my Twitter, you might find out just by some recent tweets. And then we have a new series launching soon called Graphic Content, and that will be where I am reviewing graphic novels. So good stuff coming up. Subscribe. We're so close to 500, guys. I think we're less than 15 people away from hitting 500. That's my goal. And then once we get to 500, we'll have memberships, and you guys will kind of get to have some control over what we discuss when we discuss certain things. You'll get to vote on books you want covered for graphic content, and you'll get to vote on some cherry popped coverage. So Max and I are finishing up season 1 of Buffy. We'll have the first cherry popped episode out before too long. We're having a small hiatus because Max is doing double duty right now with his day job during the day and going straight to school at night. So we got to get him graduated, and then once he's finished with that, we'll film Cherry Popped. But there's plenty of stuff that I haven't seen. We'll let you guys vote, and then we'll have panels discuss it. So thanks again for tuning in. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. And I guess just stay popping. Why not? Sounds like a plan. All right. See you guys next week. Thank you.
Get the fuck